global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello fam, welcome back to our channel. If this is the first time I've seen this channel, kindly hit on the red subscribe button and the bell notification icon to get both subscribed and notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, this is great news coming all the way from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stable, that's IPOB, and Ohaneze and Ndigbo. Yes, it's surprising, right? They're back together and they have eventually decided to bury their hatchet. For those who think this will go on and on, well, these are brothers, they may not be on the same page, but actually they're actually fighting the same cause, which is the protection of their people and peaceful existence of their people in their own land. So if you ask me, maybe that's an older generation merging with the younger generation, but it's good news to know. It's great to know that they are back together, no squabbles, everyone is at peace. As the Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization, Ohaneze and Ndigbo, and the Nnamdi Kanu-led Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, on Tuesday agreed to work harmoniously towards the interest of the people, especially the Ndigbos. The two groups, which had been at loggerheads, especially in the recent times, brokered peace at the insistence of the first Republican Aviation Minister. I'm talking about Chief Mbazulike Amechi. Addressing the newsmen after the peace meeting at the Elder Statesman's House in Okpa, Nnewi South local government area of Anambra State, Amechi described as unnecessary any form of altercation between Ohaneze and Ndigbo and IPOB, which is the Indigenous People of Biafra. He said both parties were fighting for the same welfare of the Ndigbos. Amechi, the only surviving member of the Zikis movement, expressed joy over the withdrawal threat by Nnamdi Kanu of stoning Chief Nnia to death, as well as agreeing to work harmoniously with Ohaneze and Ndigbo for the interest of the Southeast. This is good development, I must say. He also revealed part of the resolution from the meeting was that the demand for the proscription of IPOB, which he described as illegal. He urged governors and state houses of assembly in the region to commence action towards lifting the ban. He said, I summoned the two bodies of Ohaneze and Ndigbo and IPOB, that's Indigenous People of Biafra, to express my displeasure with what I have been reading on the newspaper about Kanu giving orders for the stoning of Chief Nwodo by IPOB. I am happy that even before this, my peace meeting, Kanu had retracted the statement. We therefore appeal to Nwodo to accept the retraction and get it off his mind, as IPOB has agreed to work with them. The two bodies realize that it is the same battle they are fighting for marginalization, killings, and denial of federal government to develop Southeast and Igbo land in general, have agreed to work together for the welfare of Ndigbo. Representative of the IPOB, that's Aloy Ejimako, said he was at the meeting with the blessings and instructions of his client, just as he thanked Amechi, who he said was not a stranger to what he was doing, having been one declared a terrorist. He confirmed retraction of his client's threat on Ohaneze boss, described it as one spoken out the heat of the moment. While addressing the urgent need for regional security, he insisted that such would not be achievable without the deep proscription of the pro-Biafran body, saying it has to participate as a muscle of building the security. He said, there was a synergy between us and Ohaneze. Nobody is leaving this place with acrimony. There's peace in Igbo land. Anybody coming in to take advantage of some leadership crisis in Igbo land is actually making a huge mistake. The Igbos are united and love themselves. Otherwise, they couldn't have sustained themselves for the 3 years civil war that took place. Whoever is saying anything contrary is actually sowing a seed of discord. He now went further to say that speaking on behalf of Ohaneze and Ndigbo, State President of the body, Chief Damian Okeke Ogene, said the body endorsed all that was contained in the communique. He said, those who thought our offenses are fallen we know that the fences are much stronger than they thought. And that's really the news, and this is coming, and this is good news if you ask me. This is the way to go. We've always been asking that, we've been hoping and been praying that Ndigbo should unite together regardless. Yes, they are actually fighting the same cause, just that it's done differently. Okay, while Ohaneze and Ndigbo talking about 2023 presidency, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu here is talking about secession. Now, this is a step towards the right direction. Whatever, at least they have finally been able to stay in the same room without necessarily having any issues, which is very good. The same way they have met, they can quietly also met and come to a reach of compromise, each party explaining why the other should be sustained, and they could come to a level playing ground, compromise. But don't forget they're both Igbos. They're actually both brothers. Okay, they may have shared different ideologies. It doesn't take away the fact that they're brothers. So if you ask me, this is the right way to move. This is the right step, and I also believe that more is yet to come. While Ohaneze Ndigbo is thinking of presidency 2023, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is thinking of actualization of Biafra. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a bit of a younger generation compared to Ohanaeze Ndigbo. So I feel that now that they have gotten to this level of synergy as an agreement, and they're thinking of coming together to harness their energy, it will augur well, because yes, Ohaneze and Ndigbo may have their reasons for looking for president in 2023, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu may have also their reason for thinking of secession. So together they'll bring it on the table, the round table, and they'll trash it out. And then you may begin to, if this goes well, which I believe it will, by months to come, you begin to see a more uniformed approach. You begin to see oneness of heart, oneness of agreement, oneness of issues. Imagine this is kind of scenario where some persons are clamoring for presidency 2023, another scenario is another group is clamoring for secession, another group is coming for restructuring and all that with presidency. So it just looks as if they are not really people, but they are, and that bit by bit they're mending their fences, okay, and bit by bit they're reaching out, to show care and love, which to me is a good one in the right direction. I hope this is sustained, like Ejimako has rightly said. He was, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not there physically present, but of course, if the lawyer of the group is there, then that means you are talking to the right person at the right direction. Well, for those people who did not believe that this will come to an end, too bad. They're brothers. They're not actually enemies. They're brothers, okay? Just that maybe the other one does not understand where the other one's viewpoint is. But that's where compromise comes in. We should be able to, compromise and understand the feelings of others, put ourselves in their shoes to understand where they are headed. But then this to me is kudos. Well done to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for reaching out, even though he knew he said the wrong things at the heat of the moment, and he has swallowed his pride and he has gone to say that he has retracted the statement. There's no one person that will stone Ohaneze Ndigbo's boss. So that fully retracted. And also the fact that they have asked Nwodo, okay, that's the first Republican airline aviation man, has beckoned on Nwodo to please simmer down in his anger. There's nobody stood anywhere. This is just a case of brothers having this agreement. I hope and pray that the synergy continues this way. Then you may be seeing a uniform voice coming from the southeastern part, where they will say, we are fielding one candidate, and one candidate will it be if there will be president in 2023, or if it's a case of secession, everyone would declare their stand. But then this is how it is. To me, well done. This is good news. Ohaneze Ndigbo, well done. Nnia, I pray you accept this in good faith and treat them like you always say. These guys are like your children, but just see them as family. That way it won't hurt so much. Well done. Amechi, the Sam Mechi, the one who did all this conveying and ensuring that this does not escalate beyond what it should be. I must say, well done to everybody that played in this role. It's good to note that Ohaneze Ndigbo and IPOB may end up being on the same page eventually, but of course there will be need for convincing here and there for either want to drop their ideology, but in all, the fact that they have agreed to protect their people, that to me is good news. And I think it should be good news to all Igbos generally, because Apex group Ohanaeze Ndigbo is known worldwide. They may not be over functional, but of course they still give them that accolades and respect of being the cultural Apex social cultural group. That's how we're going to wrap it up. What do you think of? What do you make of this? Do you think this is a sign that somebody is really scared, or you think this is truly a good sign that the Ndigbos are coming together as a formidable force to get what they really desire? Will it be Biafra? Time will tell. That way we're going to wrap it up. Let's put in our comment section. What do you think of all this? Stay tuned for more updates and much